This video is brought to you by Hellscape Trigger, a novel written and published by yours truly. An updated version of my book is coming soon, so subscribe for more information. So, we just got our first announcement for Avengers. Well, not technically not our first announcement, but we got some more news about Avengers Doomsday. We got
Confirmation.
the cast. Yeah, confirmation about the cast so far that people are saying. Do you think this is final? Do you think this is it, or do you think we might get Tom Holland or?
I think they have it planned out for sure. I think Tom Holland, it would be smart to kind of have him in his own film because he's freaking Spider-Man. But you notice that like a lot of the big characters were left out. Like no confirmation on Hulk, She-Hulk, no confirmation on Spider-Man. Still nothing on Blade.
Nope.
We had nothing on Blade. Ryan Coogler made his own Blade in the time that we should have had a movie.
Exactly.
So it's like we're still trying to figure things out in the MCU. Like we really don't know anything, and I don't know their plan, and I don't know if they like do like a vision board or something, and they plan it out. But it seems like it's going pretty fast. They're steamrolling it.
Definitely.
They're steamrolling it fast as hell.
Because it was just a couple months ago we got the announcement that they were doing this movie, and now flash forward like what 5 to 6 months, and now we got the full cast. Yeah. And they're kind of planting the seeds with each casting choice that they have, because we have like James Marsden that's come back, we have Patrick Stewart coming back, who plays Magneto again, I forgot his name. Ian McKellen. Yeah, everybody from the I think it's 03
OG dude X-Men. The OG X-Men. So we got OG Beast. I'm trying to think of the actor's name. He's a well-respected actor.
I got the list here. Hang on, find it. Dang. Oh man, he's got such a, I don't know. I can't find.
It's literally on the top of my head, and I've seen him in so many different movies. I'm embarrassed, but OG Beast.
Yep.
Is James Marsden OG Cyclops in this
Cyclops?
One?
Yes.
Which is crazy.
Yeah.
So it makes me think, like, are we getting Halle Berry? Like that's a big deal.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, okay, Halle Berry is next, but no.
I don't know. I don't know what to think, but I feel like obviously the list of actors that they have, I have no problem with it. I just feel like we're going a bit too fast with the whole multiverse thing, and I feel like we should have more movies before we even get a project like this.
That's my issue right now, especially with certain characters that are being announced. Like, biggest one was Shang-Chi for me. When's the last time that we've seen anything Shang-Chi? Do you remember? Nothing.
Dude, we should have been had a second film by now.
Yeah, a second movie.
And that's a movie you could shoot and make like really fast.
Exactly. Like, he has his own story with the rings and like the beacon that was being sent off.
Yeah.
That just never got established, and now we're gonna put him in this new movie.
Yeah.
My problem was when I was looking at the casting as it was going through, I started panicking because I'm like, oh no, it's about to be just a cameo fest of all sorts of things. I was thinking there was going to be about 70 plus characters in this film, but thank God they stopped it at about, like, I think it's about either 30 or 50 for right now. But thank God,
is crazy.
50. I mean, 30. We're gonna stop it at 30 because I'm looking at the list here, but I'm just making an estimate of what I see. But I was thinking they're gonna throw Miss Marvel, they're gonna put She-Hulk, Echo, Daredevil, Punisher, Kingpin. Like, everybody's just gonna have a part in this film. I'm like, no, dude, because you failed Phase 4, whether you like it or not, is a failure. Most of the things in there aren't good, and they don't have good replay value. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You failed to consistently, or you failed to keep up with this universe consistently after Endgame. You can't expect someone to just, or you can't expect to throw these these characters that have these one-off films like Shang-Chi or Namor or even Shuri. You can't really expect me to be excited to see them or even care when
we got to spend time. Like, we got to spend time with these characters. And I think, like, we have to remember, obviously, the Avengers. We grew up in the era, I don't know how old you are, but like, I grew up in the era where it was just the X-Men.
Yeah.
The X-Men, Spider-Man, Hulk, Wolverine, like those were the biggest heroes. Obviously the Fantastic Four as well. But like the Avengers were the B-listers to me. Like if you read comics, obviously that's not true. But at the same time, like we watch these characters become so much bigger. We watch RDJ become the face of the MCU. We watch Chris Evans become Captain America. So we spent a lot of time with the characters over time, like over that 10-year period. So I
Yeah.
feel like for them to kind of just do this Doomsday thing, I don't know if you've read I think it's is it Hickman, Jonathan Hickman. He wrote Secret Wars.
The
So he wrote
original
Secret Wars.
or the 2015 one?
The 2015 one.
Yeah,
The
Battle Worlds
2015 one.
and
Yeah,
God
bro.
Doom. Yeah,
That took that's a long book.
really.
And Reed Richards plays like an instrumental role in that. Black Panther's in there. Doctor Strange plays like an instrumental role as well. So it really does take a lot of like world building, and it takes a lot of time. And it feels
Yeah,
like they're really steamrolling this, which maybe it could work. Maybe it could be something, but I feel like there has to be some exposition. There has to be some build up to it. Obviously, we didn't get Thanos right then and there.
yeah,
It was Loki first. I'm gonna send Loki to do my job. Then Loki fails, and then it's this whole thing and that spirals. And I feel like you got to build that anticipation, and maybe it's the MCU. They're really just trying to end the whole MCU thing and just maybe do isolated storylines. I don't really know, but I feel like it's too soon, and we need to get more projects from Marvel before this even happens. Like I don't know. Like, do you think we should have like two Fantastic Four films before it even comes out? Do you think we
I
should know more about
I
like
wouldn't
Mr.
say
Fantastic, the Fantastic Four in general?
I wouldn't say we need like we'd at least need a couple sequels from certain characters. Like again, Shang-Chi needs another
Shang-Chi's
sequel.
instrumental for sure.
Yeah.
And Eternals, bro.
I tell you, where are they at? Like
That's crazy,
they all just went
bro.
home and they left.
And it's wild because you have Salma Hayek, you have Christina Aguilera,
Yeah.
you have or not Aguilera, Chris or
That's
whatever her
the
name
singer,
is.
ain't it? Yeah.
Yeah, that's the singer. I'm tripping. I'm tripping.
Isn't it
Angelina
Angelina
Jolie.
Jolie?
I don't know why I was thinking Chris. Yeah, Angelina Jolie. I don't know why I was thinking. I was probably just listening to that in the car or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, Angelina Jolie. You got some powerhouses in that movie,
Yeah.
but they're nowhere to be seen. So I feel like if you make a bad film, you can still pick up the pieces and make something out of it. If Chloe Zhao, the director, if they didn't want her in that position, you gotta figure out a way to finish that strong.
Yeah.
Because apparently Shang-Chi was supposed to link up to like the whole Celestial War thing, and like that was supposed to be like a small little plot line. I mean, I don't know, but it's a lot, man. It really is.
Yeah, it just feels like it still feels a bit unfocused. Like if I was gonna be like heavily critical, I'd say that this movie is like this just the foundation of it from even casting Robert Downey Jr. as Doctor Doom. I feel
That
like
pissed
that's
me
just
off.
yeah, it's just disaster waiting to happen.
It
Because
really is. That pissed me off, bro. I'm not even gonna lie to you, bro. Like that's just a straight up cash grab.
it is. It's just to put butts in the seat. They panicked because of everything that happened with Jonathan Majors. Jonathan Majors, they were really hell bent on making him the next Thanos. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like he had all these interviews where he was talking about how, oh yeah, I can't wait to be the big next big villain. To the point where he was again, he's the best part of Ant-Man 3 to the point, and then it's also to the point where they introduced this whole post-credit scene where they basically spoiled the whole fact that there's a council of Kangs and stuff. He had
Yeah.
a whole Avengers movie called the Kang Dynasty, and then everything happened with the actor, and they're panicked. They were like, oh my god, we need something. Call up RDJ." Then that's what
Yep.
happened.
That's what it was. But you know what's crazy? They could have went any other way. They could have found like an Academy Award winning actor or someone big to just really like sell the franchise and kind of just take on that role as that big bad. Like it didn't have to be just bring back RDJ. It didn't have to be rely on the multiverse so soon.
Yeah,
Perhaps they should have spent more time, building the Avengers and building obviously with Thunderbolts. I feel like that's really what they're trying to do, and I feel like that's why it's going to be a successful film. But yeah, it's brick by brick, man. brick
Yeah,
by brick.
it
Like,
just everything just feels a bit unfocused still. It just feels like they're just trying to quickly try to get to that Infinity War Endgame hype because this movie comes out next year and we have yet to form a new Avengers team.
you're
I
kidding,
thought
bro.
or
And when you say that, that sounds so crazy because it feels like it was released, like the idea was released so soon.
yeah,
So it's like, do they really have a plan? And are the Russos really the right people to do this like job? Because it feels like because they did just recently have a movie on Netflix, and a lot of people were critiquing that. I didn't see Electric State.
I'm
A
not
lot,
interested.
yeah, I'm not interested to see it. I know Chris Pratt is in it, Millie Bobby Brown, all those actors are in it. Anthony Mackie's apparently in it too.
Hmm.
But yeah, it just I'm a little bit skeptical. I'm skeptical, but
Yeah, I feel like the
I'm
Russo,
hopeful.
oh, hopeful, skeptical, but hopeful.
Yeah,
I I think we're in the same boat here. I am hopeful just because the Russo brothers are coming back. It feels like they are taking the safe route. You want to put headlines and automatically kind of like put butts in the seat. You bring back RDJ, he's Iron Man, literally the face of the MCU. Bring him back as the next big Thanos villain. I guess, and then you bring back the Russo brothers. They directed both Endgame and Infinity War. Both of those movies are awesome. So if it's not broke, don't fix it in that aspect, which I appreciate. I
yeah.
mean, but again, it's just like you have many opportunities to build this world by include like little mini arcs within, the
Yeah.
phase four. Like you could have had AIM
And
take
that's
over.
really and that's where the Daredevils, like Heroes for Hire thing could work so well, or like
Yeah.
bringing in Luke Cage, bringing in the Punisher. Like
Yeah.
you could do the street level stuff. You could put Shang-Chi in there as well. Like I really do feel like they're missing out on such a big opportunity. They
Yeah.
really are. And then there's so many other comics that they could, you know, lean into. West Coast Avengers,
Yeah.
Secret Avengers. Like, bro, I just feel like it's I don't know. I don't know if it's Kevin Feige running things. I don't know if it's the politics behind Disney. And I think Disney does have something to do with it because it really is this is about money. It's not necessarily about entertainment all the time. You got to make money in movies for them to keep making them. And obviously, Bob Iger, I think it was Bob Iger's idea to just kind of just release a bunch of shows in the same year, a bunch of movies within the same year. And
Yeah.
a lot of those shows fell. Like Secret Invasion. I never watched that.
Me
I
neither.
mean,
It wasn't
you
interested.
have the biggest box office star in your TV show, and you don't make that an Avengers project, which is crazy, like an
Yeah,
actual movie. That's a really big arc,
it
and it would
is.
be a really it'd be a really big deal for them to kind of flesh that story out too, because like we'd have to know who the scrolls are.
Yeah.
So I feel like that was way too soon. And then we did the whole Kang thing with the Loki series, which I felt like Loki ended out really well, but it yeah, they just like said bye bye to Jonathan Majors and no even not even a thought of recasting, which is very odd to me.
Yeah, just
Like you could
completely.
easily I can name three actors right now that you could recast for Kang and they body it and kill it. Like Coleman Domingo, like you put him in a role like that, like he'd easily body that.
Oh yeah. He is from, correct me if I'm wrong. He's from Atlanta, right?
I think so, yeah.
Uh yeah, I think he is. They were saying he should be if they were gonna recast Kang, it should be him. I was thinking if you've seen Black Adam, the guy that plays Hawkman. I forgot his name.
Aldous Hodge is great.
Yeah,
And
perfect.
Aldous Hodge actually he just had Cross, that show on Amazon Prime.
Ah,
Really big debut, man. Like really big debut. It was a big deal. But he's also a really good actor. Like he's been acting for like 10 plus years.
oh yeah. Yeah, he was I argue that he's the best part of Black Adam. I enjoy that
Oh, for
character a
sure.
lot.
Bro,
Real
and that's
laid
my
back,
thing,
real
man.
cool.
Yeah, real laid back. Like he has that leading man type of personality. Like a
Yeah.
lot of people, A lot of people don't have that, but he's one of those guys that can certainly carry a movie. Like I honestly felt like he should have been Jon Stewart, if
Yeah.
anything, which is
If
crazy.
anything.
But I think the whole age thing, they're trying to go younger, like
Yeah.
that was kind of what they're trying to do with that.
Yeah, but back to what we were saying about just overall them not having really just a concrete plan. I was gonna go back to them not forming establishing a solid Avengers team, really. It just seems like there's just a bunch of, like you said, it's just a bunch of scattered areas, heroes for hire. Like, hey, something's
Yeah,
happening here, let's call up him. Instead of just having like the set Avengers team. I thought
yeah.
that Captain America Brave New World would at least try to tackle this, but I don't know what happened
And
to that movie post-production.
dude, I don't know either. And it's not the worst movie in the MCU. It's not the worst project I've seen this year. And I think a lot of people were hating on it for no reason other than just to hate Anthony Mackie. But I feel like yeah, there was a lot of potential. And the real I think the reshoots had something to do with it. Just
Definitely.
because Captain America is a very political type of film. It's an action political thriller, and because it was a bit touchy, I think Disney was like, "Don't touch that,"
Yeah.
and they did some reshoots. They did some reshoots, and that's what kind of impacted it. I mean, you have three talented actors in the same film. You have Giancarlo Esposito, who plays
Wasted.
Moff Gideon, who's been in like every single Spike Lee movie ever. Then you have Harrison Ford, who is damn near one of the best actors of all time, best sci-fi actors as well. And
Yep.
it's Anthony Mackie. I feel like Anthony Mackie did an amazing job too, but I feel like just the pieces weren't put together really well.
Yeah.
And maybe it should have just been, let's do away with Red Hulk. We don't have to worry about Red Hulk right now. We'll worry about that in the Thunderbolts. So
That would have made sense.
I feel like that film should have just been about making it, it partially was about building the Avengers and starting it again, but really it was. Really it
Yeah.
was. So I feel
They
like they missed the opportunity.
they try to mention like Harrison Ford. He's like he comes up to Anthony Mackie in the film. He's like, I want to help you rebuild the Avengers. And then that's it.
Yeah.
And that's it. It's just a one-off line. And I'm just like, man, that was a perfect film to kind of at least build a, a congruent team, you know what I'm saying? Just
Yeah.
even if it was just three people, just some sort of
Literally.
team, you know?
Which actually when you said, bro, that would have been great. That
Just
literally would have been great.
just three people. But I'm not gonna really like snub that completely because we still have the Thunderbolts, which is mostly
We
like
do.
still the government based side of Marvel where they can rebuild the Avengers. A lot of a lot of members of the Thunderbolts are in Avengers Doomsday. How do you feel about
Yeah.
that?
Damn near spoiled the damn
Yeah, I was gonna
movie,
say, did
bro.
we get the movie? Did we just get the movie
I was like,
spoiled?
okay, John Walker's here.
Yeah,
And I'm not complaining because Wyatt Russell is such a great actor. Like he was actually one of the best parts of Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So I'm
literally
not
the
really
best
pressed
part.
about that. I'm just like, what's the direction? I feel like that's kind of where I'm at right now. Like, what's the direction? Where do they go from this? Is there gonna be a second Thunderbolts film? Like, is this set? Like, I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, they spoiled it for sure.
Definitely, because I believe Sentry, the actor that plays Sentry, is casted in this film, so we know what happens there. Whatever
Spoiler
happens
alerts.
there, yeah, they no stakes within this film, within the Thunderbolt. So,
Yeah.
but you can tell that they're just trying to get it out there, trying to build that hype because, I mean, they did the same thing with Endgame and Spider-Man Far From Home. They dropped the Far From Home trailer like a
Yeah.
month before Endgame came out.
But
I'm
I
like, why
think
did you
that
do that?
wasn't
Probably
that
Sony.
because like there was a leak and a
I'm
lot of
not.
people I can't remember because I know a lot of people were leaking stuff and
Yeah, I
that's
don't.
why they had to just release it right then and there because scoopers were coming up with photos behind the
Yeah,
scenes footage like
I think that's what
there's a lot
happened.
of
Yeah, behind the
yeah.
scenes footage, and they were just like, you know what, go ahead, throw it out there. But I'm also surprised with this casting. No Doctor Strange. I feel like
That's
multiverse is
wild.
his middle name, and he's no Scarlet Witch either. So I'm pretty sure they're still trying to sell the fact that she's dead.
Yeah,
She's not dead. I
she
don't
ain't
know.
dead.
I don't know what they're trying to do, but most of the magic users, like most of the multiverse, reality breaking magic users aren't in this film. But maybe they'll probably play it off. And this will be cool if they want to continue making this universe. If Doctor Strange doesn't show up because he's dealing with what happened in the post-credit scene of
Yeah,
Multiverse of Madness,
that would make a lot of
that
sense.
would make sense. And I would actually appreciate that because I'm like, oh, okay, you're kind of fixing the universe together.
Yeah,
We also got the Fantastic Four. So we got Vanessa Kirby, Ebon Moss, uh,
Baccarat, I think.
Baccarat, and
Yeah,
then
from what's that show?
the Bear.
The
The Bear.
Bear. The
Yeah.
Bear, yeah.
We have who else? Joseph Quinn, and then um, oh man,
You said Pedro, right? You
I
said
didn't say
Pedro Pascal.
Pedro Pascal.
Yeah.
His name almost left my brain for a second. I'm like,
Yeah, yeah.
what?
Yeah, nah, you good, man.
So yeah, all four members of the Fantastic Four are making an appearance in here. Does that give away what happens in the movie, you think? I have
No.
I've heard theories that it's actually going to end on a dark note where Galactus actually wins and then they have to flee their world because I believe they're from a different universe. So they
Yeah.
have to flee their universe and come to 616 and that's how they kind of mesh in with
Mm.
our heroes,
I
which
wonder, and that's what really confuses me, man. Because like, I wonder, like, what are they gonna adapt? Are they gonna adapt the Hickman Secret Wars comic, or are they just gonna do something entirely new? And I think that's what they're gonna do. Because if you have RDJ casted, that makes me assume that we're doing the evil Iron Man thing. That
Superior Iron Man type
Yeah,
of thing.
Superior Iron Man. That's what I feel like they're gonna do. I don't know if it's feasible. I don't really know if it's something they should do, but if it works, it works. I was really hoping for like an actual Doctor Doom, like being established with Reed Richards and them kind of just going into that story arc and how they hate each other. Like
Yeah.
I felt like that was really important. But I don't know. Maybe they have other ideas.
Yeah, somebody made a good point online where a lot of people were up frustrated with Robert Downey Jr. playing Doctor Doom, but if you really think about it, that's that's just comics in general. Like you would have like different characters taking roles of other different characters.
Yeah.
So I guess if looking at it from that approach, I was like, okay, that's not really bad, you know what I'm saying? Um, like what if Iron Man became Doctor Doom or something? I would have not have went with Robert Downey Jr., especially with
Definitely
uh,
not.
because this is such a significant villain. He's literally like a reoccurring villain. He can come back anytime he wants.
Exactly.
Like if you kill off Doctor Doom, you can bring him back and
Bro,
type.
he's OP. Like he's
Yeah,
literally OP. He genius level intellect, so he can go toe to toe with like an Iron Man and Reed Richards. Sorcerer, so he can go toe to toe with the Strange, with the Scarlet Witch. Like
exactly.
that's a character that I feel like you really have to take your time with. Like you need to spend like damn near 10 years with the character to
He
really like get to know him.
he's his own Thanos. If anything, Kane could be your let's rush it and get it out there type of
Exactly.
villain.
You're one and done. You're Loki.
Yeah, you're
You're
Loki.
Loki. And then like in between, because it was 10, I mean, this is 10 years ago. Like we could compare it to the past and everything, but like everything was well planned out. It was Loki. Then in the second film, it was Ultron.
Mhm.
Then in the third film, fourth film, Thanos. We lose. Fourth film, we come back. We beat Thanos' freaking ass. Like that was really it was like crucial to the storyline and building everything up.
Yeah, definitely. And now it's like I don't know. I feel like it is the political side of Disney coming in and trying to kind of telling them like, hey, we need our next Avengers Infinity War
Yeah.
within the next within the next 4 years because what was it? It was 2021 when we started getting our new Avenger or new Marvel content with or was it 2020 with WandaVision? That's what kicked
Yeah.
off this new saga that we're getting right now. And
Yeah.
sadly, nothing has had a big significance. I would even think, again, Brave New World. I would think Brave New World would have a big significance with what's happening, but it doesn't. It's kind of a one and done thing.
Yeah, it actually it's kind of crazy because We just introduced adamantium, and that was supposed to be like a really big deal. Um, an arms race, which is supposed to be like a really that I mean I felt like that was part of the story that they didn't really focus on enough. But hey, like maybe Anthony Mackie can get another film. That's what I'm really hoping for.
Yeah.
But it really doesn't look like that. It feels like they're really just yeah. There's no plan, man. I
Just
don't know.
throwing stuff out there because when you really think about it, like, where's Moon Knight? Again, like I
It's
just
crazy.
keep bringing up the point about the heroes for hire, like Daredevil, Punisher, Iron Fist, Luke Cage. Why are we making a Thunderbolts movie when the Midnight Suns is right there?
I was
When
just
the
gonna say that.
Defenders are right there?
I was just gonna say that we still haven't seen like Ghost Rider yet.
No
We
Ghost
still
Rider,
haven't seen Blade yet.
no Blade.
So like I feel like that should be something we should focus on. Mahershala damn near if I'm Mahershala Ali with 2 Oscars,
I'm leaving.
bro, I'm
Yeah,
moving on.
yeah,
I'm working with Ryan Coogler. Screw
yeah.
that. I'm working with Spike Lee. Like you're wasting my time. And he only has so much time on his hands. Like he has to actually work. And I mean, in that time span, it's just not really worth it, man.
Yeah, I think the last time we heard Blade was in or R616 Blade was in Eternals. We heard his
Dude, that was
voice.
that was D23 in 2019. No,
I bel
2020.
2021, 22,
I
2022.
don't remember. Let me look that up. D23.
It was like right after the Eternals, I believe, or it got confirmed before Eternals came out.
I don't remember.
I think it
But
was
that's how
right
long
before
it's been.
Eternals. Yeah, we haven't seen anything. And then we got in Deadpool and Wolverine, we got Wesley Snipes Blade that came back. And
Yeah.
with the announcement that Channing Tatum's Gambit is coming back, which personally
I don't like
me,
that.
I don't like that. I'm sorry. I'm like, why is he just not a one and done thing? And
Yeah.
this is the thing I don't like about Marvel is that they're gonna beat a dead horse. Like Channing Tatum's Gambit, and then a lot of people will probably say like, well, there was a deleted scene where he actually survived. Okay, yeah, that's cool. Let it be open ended, you know? Just let him go off and do his own thing. Channing Tatum's Gambit was like a haha, look at that.
It
Check
was
that out.
gag. It
Yeah, it
was
was
a
a
gag.
gag.
It was an ode to, and that's what Deadpool was kind of just like an ode to all those old Fox, um, Marvel projects,
Yeah.
and that's why we got the Blade. That's why we got the Elektra, all those
Electra.
other projects before the MCU. So it's just kind of like this ode to everything that we got back then.
Yeah.
But I don't feel like that they should be using the multiverse as like a crutch.
To bring back these characters still.
Exactly,
Yeah.
because again, like the nostalgia is cool. We understand that, but at the same time, what makes Marvel great is the storytelling. What makes Marvel great is the full-fledged story,
Yeah.
and that's something you build up over time.
Definitely. Like I'm really scared that this movie is just gonna be nothing but just cheap pops. Like, oh, it's James Marsden's Cyclops. Look at that. Oh,
Yeah.
it's Channing Tatum's Gambit. Wow. They even brought back the actress that played Mystique in the old films.
Yeah, Rebecca Romijn. She's like a model. She hasn't acted in anything in
I was
years.
about to say, I correct me if I'm wrong, but I really don't think that Mystique had a prominent role within these movies. When she wasn't I would understand if you brought in Jennifer Lawrence. Is that her name correct? Jennifer Lawrence? Her Mystique?
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
Jennifer.
it's Jennifer Lawrence. Like
Yeah,
Jennifer Lawrence is like really big.
yeah, plays a much better Mystique than Rebecca
Romijn, yeah,
Ramjan. Yeah.
dude, she was a real big model back in the day,
Mm.
like real big.
See, I
So
didn't.
like, yeah, that's why they casted her because she's bad. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like that's really the only thing she was there to do was just be naked and blue.
naked and blue. That's it. And then they
Like,
brought her back, and I'm just like, why are we
yeah,
doing that? It's just like blinking you miss characters. Like even Alan Cummings Nightcrawler.
yeah, I was just gonna say that.
I don't really think you should really bring these. I feel as if they do have a coherent plan because personally, I think they're gonna do Avengers versus X-Men. They're gonna do like a
Oh, for sure.
multiversal Avengers versus
For sure.
X-Men with like Doctor Doom pulling the strings, and
Yeah.
that leads into battle wars with Secret Wars and stuff.
Why not just do Civil War then, if that's the case? Like, why even have Doom in the project to begin with?
Yeah, why
That's
just
just
not
me.
make a Avengers versus X-Men film right then and
Yeah.
there? And it's crazy to really think about it. The worst movie, I think it's the worst movie in the MCU as a whole, has the most significance, which is the Marvels, has the most significance within this film because you can obviously tell Kelsey Grammer, that's his name.
Kelsey Grammer.
We
Yeah,
remember
yeah, yeah.
Kelsey Grammer because his beast appeared in the post-credit scene of the
That's right.
Marvels. And so you can obviously tell that they're gonna merge these two together using that movie, which
Yeah.
I guess, I mean, I had another theory um that it's actually the X-Men from the universe that Doctor Strange went to, where Wanda took out Professor X and stuff in Multiverse of
Gotcha.
Madness. I
Okay.
thought it was going to be those X-Men, and then Charles Xavier is obviously dead and they want revenge, so they come through. Doom probably brings them to the 616, and that's how you do the little multiversal X-Men sort of war thing. But I just feel as if you're bringing in all these old actors when we could really be, you really could have used from 2021 up until now building up a new X-Men. You know what I'm
Oh, for
saying?
sure.
Like,
Bro, I'm you don't under I don't think people understand, man. I've been waiting for a new Storm. I've been waiting for a new Wolverine. Like we grew up on the X-Men, man. Like I'm
exactly.
a 2000s kid, man. Like the X-Men were everything. So for them to just kind of go back and backpedal, I'm not mad at it, like, because I like those old movies.
Yeah.
I was just expecting something different. And
Yeah.
I was hoping that they kind of just establish a younger team that could be there for like the next 10 years.
Yeah, and it feels like they're really taking forever to get to it. Like you
Yeah.
guys have had the rights to the X-Men for the longest now. I mean,
Oh, for
you,
sure.
you had a hit with X-Men 97. X-Men 97 is awesome. That's one of my favorite animated shows like ever. And they failed to really capitalize on that. I mean, you had Deadpool and Wolverine right there, two of the
Yeah.
most prominent mutants. You know what I'm saying? Well, Deadpool's a mutate, but you get what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Two of the
Yeah.
most prominent X-Men characters right there, and you didn't use that to bring in new X-Men. I'd argue
Yeah.
that Deadpool and Wolverine, if you want to keep, and again, you can say it's like a farewell to the Fox films. It was paying homage to the Fox films, but you didn't really add to the universe. Like I feel
Yeah.
like Deadpool and Wolverine should have had a significant ending. It was just like, oh, they came to 616 for a little bit and they were in the void that was in the Loki those three Loki episodes if you watched them. Oh, they're going home now. They're gone. They're not in the
Basically.
universe anymore. I'm like, what are we doing? Like
How did you like that? I mean, I liked the movie,
I love the movie.
but
It's
I wasn't in love with it.
no, I it's
It wasn't my favorite.
it was one of my top five out of 2024, just because I didn't really see that many movies, but it was my top five just because it was funny. The action was nice. It was cool to see Hugh Jackman again. But when it comes to the significance of the film, for right now, you could really skip that movie. Like, you don't have to watch that movie unless you
Yeah.
like
It's
Deadpool.
not really necessary.
Nothing, yeah. Even the TVA, like the TVA didn't fall apart, there was a reference to Loki, the show, but not Loki being the god of time.
Yeah.
Nothing, and even with bringing it back to Brave New World, because you had multiple chances. It feels like it went 0 and 3 here because you had adamantium right there.
Exactly.
You adamantium and Wolverine go together. They go together like peanut butter and jelly. You could have even mentioned like Stryker right there. General Stryker is looking over the adamantium stuff. People would have freaked out in the theater, and that's a way to continuously and consistently build up the universe
Yeah.
while not really, putting Wolverine there, because if you know what I'm saying? You could have even had the doctor that worked on Wolverine. I forgot his name. I think it's like something Cornelius, but you could have had a name drop there. But you
Yeah.
mentioned adamantium, and it's like, okay, that's cool. That's what Wolverine's skeleton's made out of. And then you completely drop it. Like you said, it gets forgotten about.
Yeah.
And you also had the cool little reference in She-Hulk where it's like man with claws gets into a fight. But that's it. You've been kind of just beating around the bush and doing this slow burn to the X-Men when you know what people want, and then when you bring in
Bro,
the X-Men,
are
they're
you
all in like their
are they
50s.
fucking nuts, bro? Like, are you kidding? X-Men could literally be like every movie they drop would be make $1 billion. Are you
Exactly.
kidding?
You
Like
could
X-Men is literally more popular than Avengers.
Avengers, literally
It
more
literally
popular than
is.
the Avengers.
It
And what's
literally is.
crazy about the X-Men is that, let's say you want to take a break from the Avengers. Let's say like you want to go roadmap that a little bit better because it
Yeah,
needs to be roadmapped a lot better. Bring in the X-Men. Let the
of
X-Men do
course.
their own little thing, you know? You could bring in
They,
Apocalypse. You could do the Century Art, Days of Future Past. You can do all that because the Marvel universe is not, it's not in a good space right now, whether we like it or not. Like they've had some banger projects, but when it comes to banger projects, like I really enjoyed the new Spider-Man show. X-Men 97 was good. Uh Daredevil, oh not Daredevil was awesome. Yeah, Daredevil was awesome.
yeah.
And then
It's Daredevil's pretty good. I've
I
been
love
watching
it.
it.
I love it. And then Deadpool and Wolverine is pretty good. It's solid.
Yeah,
But notice how it's not in the main continuity. Those are all just little one-off things, you know?
gotcha.
People love Daredevil because of the Netflix show. You brought it back, they're like, "Oh, cool." But if you're watching the show, it has really nothing to do with the main, timeline right now, you know?
Do you think this really has something to do with just Marvel trying to make like these Oscar bait films rather than just tapping directors that are actually into the comics?
It's mostly to get the casuals. That's what I told my friend the other day. I'm like, Marvel isn't really looking out for us comic book fans, you know. They're really looking out for the casuals. That's why they brought in Robert Downey Jr. They need butts in the seats. Personally, me, I would have gone with Oppenheimer. What's it, Cillian
Yeah,
Murphy?
it's
I would have
Cillian
gone with
Murphy.
him. Yeah, I would have gone
Bro,
with him
he's
being
cold.
Doom. Yeah.
That's bro,
That would
he's
have been
cold.
awesome.
That's
But
wild. I think, but here's the thing. Um, I think a really big part of Doom is his culture,
ah,
and he's Latvian, right?
Latvian, yeah.
Or yeah, he's Latvian, and then he's also Romanian.
Yeah, a lot of
So I
people
feel
wanted a
like,
Romani
yeah,
actor.
yeah. So like, if they would have found like a Romanian actor, that would, I mean, I don't care. I don't care if it's a no name.
Yeah.
A lot of people like Chris Evans, Anthony Mackie, these guys weren't big guys at the time. Like they were just actors.
Yeah.
So I feel like you don't have to go with a big face. You can always just go with someone who has some acting credits to their name and choose someone who's fit for the role.
Yeah.
It's, I don't know. It's just not really, it doesn't scream comic book accuracy to me.
Yeah. And it's again, if you want like a young Romani actor, um make sure that you have a consistent story for Doom because he's gonna need to come back, you know.
Oh, for
Doom could
sure.
really be the next villain for these next Avengers films. I feel like it'd be such a fun experience sitting down in the theater. Oh, what's Doom gonna come up with next? Oh, how our
Yeah.
hero's gonna stop Doom this time, you know? Marvel Rivals, one of the biggest games out right now, the main villain of that game is Doctor Doom. Like Doctor Doom is this big, I'd argue that he's bigger than Thanos, you know?
Mm,
Thanos, there's only so much you can do with him. Doom, you can do everything because he's
yeah.
a petty villain, you know. There could be a point where Doom works with the heroes because he's done that before, you know.
Of
So
course.
I that's another thing. We don't know if this is 616 Doctor Doom. Even if it isn't, why are we doing Doctor Doom? Like, don't bring in Robert Downey Jr. and say like, oh, he's Doctor Doom from Earth 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like, then why are we doing Doctor Doom?
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like they should, and that's kind of where we get into like Marvel using the multiverse as like a crutch.
Yeah,
Because now you can just do any obscure character and it doesn't really have to make a lot of sense, which is not a problem. But a lot of times you're gonna lose some people because you're not focusing on a clear storyline. Like I have nothing against seeing Captain Carter, but I also don't really like want a Captain Carter because we already have a Captain America. So it's
yeah.
like we should be focusing on Sam as the leader and stuff like that. And
Did
like
Captain Carter get confirmed? I thought I did
I
she
don't
get
know.
confirmed for the
I've been
movie?
hearing a lot of stuff, man. I've been hearing a lot of stuff. I don't know,
I'm
but
looking at the list. Hang on. If she got confirmed, that might ruin my day. Okay, she didn't. I was about to say because I'm just Captain Carter. I mean, why? That's my honest question. It's just why. She
it's
was cool and
branding.
Yeah, she was cool in What If. It was cool to see her in live action in Multiverse of Madness, but they just keep hammering it and hammering it and hammering it. And I'm just like, dude, you realize we have a whole Captain America right here, right? Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
And
you have
that's the
Sam
thing,
Wilson
man.
right here.
Yeah. At the end of the day, it's all about selling toys, bruh. It's
Yeah.
all about selling toys and selling brands. And you want to hit gold with your Spider-Man. You want to hit gold with your Cap. You want to have different versions of them. And that's that, like the multiverse, if you can sell like to anybody, of course you're gonna want to have multiple characters from different backgrounds. And that's cool. The diversity side of it, that's great. We love seeing different characters, but for the most part, the comic book accuracy and just having those legacy characters in the mix, like to me, that's really a crucial part of it.
Yeah. Yeah, having the legacy character, yeah, definitely. You need your Iron Mans, you need your Spider-Mans, you need your
Yeah,
Captain Americas, because at the end of the day, like you said, just trying to sell toys. You got to sell all the Funko Pops, all the statues, all the
oh, for
figurines.
sure.
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
sure.
But let me look at the list real quick. Who else is there to talk about? Namor. How do you feel about Namor coming back?
Tanaka Huerta was good. He was good in Black Panther too. Um, Ruthless. Again, like another character that has a lot of history with the Invisible Woman. So it's like
Oh yeah, that
if
could.
Vanessa Kirby, if Tanaka Huerta and Vanessa Kirby have that chemistry as actors, hopefully they can kind of play into that storyline. I don't know.
Yeah.
But again, that's another thing that I feel like they have to build up to.
That's what
Um,
I was about to say. I feel like there should that, and when you asked me, should there be a second Fantastic Four film? I feel like right there, yeah, there should have been because you can't
Absolutely.
really. I don't think they're gonna touch Invisible Woman and Namor's relationship in this film because there's a lot of things to touch upon. Like
You
a
don't
lot
have
of people want to
time.
see, yeah, you don't have time. A lot of people want to see Thor and Loki reunite and have a little conversation there. A lot of people want to see, like some other characters interact with each other. But I'm like, we don't really have that much time, you know?
Yeah.
There's not really that much time to do that. And you got to build this, consistent villain that you have to introduce him, to the casual audience. And maybe in the Fantastic Four post credit scene, we might get our first look at Doom, I guess. But off of one post credit scene, you still have to consistently build that villain, you know?
Yeah.
And I don't know. It's just see it. Word of the day is unfocused. That's what really is going on with this whole movie right now. It just feels unfocused down to the casting because you can really look at it and just tell like what they're gonna do. Um, it feels like they're gonna pull like an Infinity War and have like every character do their own little thing and then they all come together at the end. But it's just again, it's like, how do we do this,
Yeah.
Especially with the multiverse. And now you have the precedent that you set with Infinity War. And if this movie doesn't do good or it does subpar, a lot of people are gonna be like, well, why wasn't it like Infinity War? And I feel like you fail, and where you fail in that aspect is that you fail to build a consistent universe during Phase 4 after Endgame. Like a
Yeah.
lot of these characters could have had movies, not just
Yeah.
one off. That's
And
what you're
per
saying about Bob. It's not Bob Chapek,
Bob
it's
is Bob
Bob
Iger. And
Bob
perhaps
Iger.
that whole moment where we were getting like 30 projects in a year, perhaps that was a bit too much.
Yeah, it's a
Perhaps
lot
that
to
was a
keep
bit
up
too
with.
much. It is a lot to keep up with. I mean, as a fan, of course, we're going to consume anything we can.
Yeah,
But at the same time, if it's not good, I'm not watching it. Like I'm
yeah,
not watching it. I don't. There are movies that I still haven't seen. I haven't seen Morbius. Um,
Morbius.
I haven't seen Venom 3. And people call me a hater, man. I'm just very particular about like the films that I love to see.
Yeah,
So it's
yeah, I get
just
that.
if I'm spending my hard-earned cash after the weekend, like to watch an ass movie, bro, like I'm gonna be heated.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be
yeah,
heated.
that's
I promise you, bro.
that's me because I haven't. I watched like 2 episodes of Miss Marvel, dropped it. I didn't finish Hawkeye. I watched Moon Knight. I finished that. Disappointed. I didn't watch Secret Invasion. I didn't watch Echo. What else? Ironheart's supposed to come out later this year. I'm probably not gonna watch that
I mean, I don't
because
know.
you just
I
have
don't
to
know,
really
man.
pick and choose your projects,
Yeah.
and you
And
can tell like what you're
I
about to
think
say.
I think I can kind of agree with you on that because it's just like going in the comic book store, bro. Like you're not gonna read everything.
Yeah, every
Not
single comic
everything's
in
gonna
there.
be for you. We can applaud good filmmaking and great TV shows, like, but there's a clear, definite like scale of what's good and what's not.
Yeah, yeah,
And
definitely.
I feel like a lot of people don't really love to talk about that because it is Marvel, and we just kind of give them a pass a lot of times.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's another thing because remember back in 2022 when like we started realizing like, hey, this kind of sucks. A lot of people were like, "Oh, you're just complaining. Just be grateful we're getting all these new films and these new TV
No,
shows." And I'm like, "No, it's not good.
yeah,
I gotta
we gotta
pay
set
for
the
it.
standard, man.
Yeah,
We
it's
gotta
not
set the
good.
standard. Like we can't just accept anything just because we're fans and just because
Definitely,
it
yeah,
has your favorite actor or your favorite character in it. Like I'm not with that. I'm
yeah,
personally not rocking with that.
yeah." Because I'm like, I mean, I'll go back to Moon Knight because I feel like I love Moon Knight. Like it's just a very wacky character. It makes sometimes just doesn't make any sense. You know, he's insane. I feel like that should have been its own movie. Do you remember Werewolf by Night? The
Dude, that
special
was great.
presentation. It was
That
great.
was great.
It was awesome. But it's done. It's like where's the Werewolf by Night? Where did all those
Yeah.
characters go? Where did I think it was Man Thing?
Swamp Thing
Very
or
yeah,
no,
Swamp
it's a
Thing or
Swamp.
Man Thing?
Some yeah.
Yeah,
One of the
the
two.
yeah,
One of the two.
the scary moss monster.
Yeah.
Where did he go? Like I feel like it's a pretty prominent character, you know? A lot of the monster side of Marvel you could really get into. Like you could really just start branching out, you know? You can have your multiverse stuff with the your multiverse stuff is your big thing, right? You can have your government-based stuff with like Thunderbolts and Captain America.
Like
You can have
street
your
level.
yeah, your street level with Spider-Man, Iron Fist, Moon, or not even Moon Knight, but Iron Fist, Daredevil, like the Defenders and stuff, like the New York Hell's Kitchen stuff. And then you have your like monsters, you know what I'm saying? You can have like Moon Knight, Blade. You can even bring Doctor Strange in there to mess with it. You know,
Ghost
you could just have
Rider.
Ghost Rider. You could have and Scarlet Witch. You can have like these different arcs going on, but instead you're sort of leaning into you're kind of trying to do what the you did in phase one, two, and three, where you just kind of introduce these characters and have them do their own little thing.
Yeah.
But you can't really do that and introduce a buttload of characters, you know. You can't do that and introduce Kate Bishop, Miss Marvel, Cassandra, not Cassandra Cain, that's DC. What's Ant-Man's daughter's name?
I can't
Cassie?
even remember Cassie. Yeah, I
Cassie
can't even
Lang.
remember, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can't introduce Cassie Lang. You can't. I said Miss Marvel. Monica Rambeau, Captain Marvel, Sam Wilson, the new Falcon, everybody from the Thunderbolts. Like you can't do all that
Yeah,
and continue to, try to mesh it all together. It's not gonna work. Some things aren't gonna make sense. Some people aren't gonna have chemistry together.
for sure.
And so again, just unfocused, unbalanced, and unfocused. Marvel Universe could really be great, but and it's not that I'm just like, I don't know why they're doing this. I understand why they're doing this. Disney, money, they need something in the blockbuster. I think Snow White just flopped, so they need something. So
Man,
I completely understand.
Disney, man, they fucking shit up.
Yeah, they are. They're tearing everything up. When is the last time you heard about a Star Wars project? I haven't
Sad,
heard
man.
anything. Star Wars is
Yeah.
just in the gutter right now,
You know
but
what's crazy, man? I was never really a big Star Wars fan growing up, but I loved watching the prequels.
prequels,
That's
yep.
because that's what I grew up on. And that's what kind of got me into the Star Wars universe and to begin with.
Yeah,
But I feel like with them not actually exploring the lore and just trying to sell like the Skywalker lineage and everything like that, like it
yeah.
really held them back. So I feel like they just need to learn to make new stories. And that's why I haven't been watching like a lot of the shows and stuff like that. It's just
Me
it
neither.
hasn't been interesting. The only show that I watched that I felt was pretty good was Andor. Andor
A
is
lot
pretty
of people
good.
like Andor. I think Andor just got a season two. It just got a season two announcement. But yeah, just like you said about Star Wars, is like instead of just going into the lore and just like making a new sort of faction, you always go back to the Empire. You always got to go back to the Skywalkers. It's just like, dude, it's been years, decades, and we're still stuck on this same family, you know? A
Yeah,
vast galaxy, an infinite galaxy, but we always keep talking about the Skywalkers. But
yeah,
yeah, just Disney just needs to kind of slow down and just count their blessings in a way and just figure out what works and what doesn't. Because a lot of things aren't working, you know.
yeah.
But yeah, all right. Was there anything else you wanted to add about Avengers Doomsday so far?
Honestly, I'm still confused. Like, so is Avengers Doomsday Secret Wars, or is it just like, are they
I
also doing? Because aren't they also doing Secret Wars? Is that how they're doing it?
yeah, so there is going to be an Avengers Secret Wars, which I think comes out literally the year after
It's
Doomsday.
crazy.
Which I guess, I mean, I remember they announced all this stuff within like a one day. They were like, we're gonna do this and that, and we're gonna introduce this, and we're gonna bring it on our two Avengers movies right here. Like, and I was thinking, I was like, that's a lot for like, and they were trying to release it all. They were trying to release it all like this year, 2025. I think the Kang Dynasty was supposed to come out this year. But
Mm,
I was thinking, I was like, they cannot do all this within the span of 2 to 3 years and
yeah,
make it make sense, you know? But I still think Secret Wars is going to come out next year. With Doomsday, I just think that is a good question. Now I'm confused because what's the point of Doomsday when you have Secret Wars? I guess Doomsday would be the build up, Secret Wars would be the aftermath. Because with
gotcha.
Battle Worlds, you know, it's like different. It's like with I think it's Battle World. I think the Earth. It's either the Earth or it's just like this big wasteland with like walls in it. But
Yeah,
Battle Worlds is essentially just little pocket dimensions that they can travel to. So you might have a dimension with just all Hulks. You might have
yeah.
one with
The Thor
just like
core,
yeah,
like if you've read like Jonathan Hickman's Secret Wars, like there's a lot of that in the yeah, in the mix. So I get it. There's gonna be some multiverse stuff, and that's part of the story. But
yeah,
there's a way that you do it, and you gotta take your time with it.
definitely. Just slow burn it. Slow burn it for this when it comes to introducing characters and stuff. You know,
Oh
try to
yeah.
be consistent with it. But I guess we'll just have to wait and see more news on it. You know what I'm saying? Just like once that first trailer comes out, that'll tell us all we need to know. Once that
Oh, for
first
sure.
teaser comes out, you know, but as of right now when it comes to casting, I'm gonna be optimistic about it. It
Yeah.
does seem focused. I know this whole time I was talking about it being unfocused and everything, but as for right now, if you just keep these characters, don't introduce any more characters. If you keep it this concise with these three factions, you have the Avengers, the X-Men, and Fantastic Four. That's cool. That's good.
Yeah.
Don't try to bring in the Guardians. Don't try to bring in Captain Marvel and the Marvels. Don't try to bring in the Hell's Kitchen heroes either. Just keep it
Honestly,
like this.
yeah, like let Guardians rest.
Yeah, they're
Let
done.
Guardians rest.
They're done.
Let
Leave their
the
story
yeah,
open
let
ended.
like I feel like that was just like a James Gunn story.
Yeah.
Like that was all him. So it's just like just leave that alone.
Yeah.
If you want to find a new group or find someone else to kind of just make those films and build a new team, you got to do it with a director that understands the lore, understands like the comic books.
Yeah, just like
And that's
James Gunn
that's
did.
exactly, and that's what I feel like Thunderbolts could be. Possibly. I don't know. A lot of people are saying it's kind of like this A24 like avant-garde type of movie, and maybe that could work.
That doesn't sound bad.
But
Yeah.
um I I can't even remember who's directing it. I think it might be Edgar Wright.
Oh, really? I heard
Yeah.
he's a very talented
Nah,
director because a
Edgar
lot of
Wright
people
is
are
him.
like, yeah, a lot of people are like, yeah, this movie has potential, and it does. It looks pretty fun. It looks
Yeah.
fun, but too
Let
bad
me see.
this casting kind of spoiled it.
Not Edgar Wright.
Oh, it's not.
Thunderbolts. I literally can't remember, man.
Let me
There's
see.
so much going on. Thunderbolts, the director is Jack Schreier.
What has he been in? I'm looking at it. Oh, nothing I've heard of. Nothing I have heard of
It doesn't
at
have to be
all.
anything crazy, man. I mean,
Yeah.
there's so many directors that get their first job and they do well.
It looks like
And
he is he's mostly like a it looks like he does documentaries.
really,
Yeah, but the movie doesn't look bad. It doesn't look bad at
Paper
all.
Towns. What else has he done? Oh shit, he directed for Kendrick Lamar. That's what's
Oh,
up.
really?
Yeah,
Oh, I see it right here.
we cry together. Shout out to him, bro.
All right,
That's what's
okay.
up.
Yeah, he doesn't. Okay. So I'm gonna go into the Thunderbolts with an open mind, honestly. I don't really think Thunderbolts will suck.
Yeah, yeah. I don't think
Yeah.
it's gonna be bad either. I mean, you got Sebastian Stan carrying the film.
Yeah.
He's coming fresh off a Golden Globe. Um, it's crazy because like I was at Fantastic Fest in
Oh, really?
yeah, I was in Fantastic Fest in August, no, not August, September, and I saw him play Trump, and I saw him play. He was in a different man. I think it was yeah, a different man, and he played Trump. So he had two back-to-back films where he killed it.
Yeah.
And that's when I was like, damn, like he's really killing it like with the type of movie roles that he's taking. So I feel like Sebastian Stan, like he's an underrated actor for sure, and I feel like it's time that they utilize him in the MCU.
Yeah, he could really be the next like face, honestly. But
Yeah.
I guess you would want to keep Anthony Mackie because he is Captain America.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, but Anthony Mackie is an amazing actor
He is.
when he's written well. Because I just don't feel like he did a good job in Brave New World, and that was
Really.
literally not his
I
fault.
honestly I felt like he did the best he could with
Yeah, what he
he was
had.
offered, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like he's really good at creating chemistry with actors like with Harrison Ford. He was really good like on the screen with him.
yeah. It's just his writing in general was just like he was just spilling out plot, you know? It didn't really, it was one dimensional. Like I found to be like extremely one dimensional in the film.
Mm.
And that's not even because we've seen him in Winter Soldier. He's funny in that. You know what I'm saying? He's
Yeah.
pretty,
He's
he's
comedic.
good in that.
I compare him to maybe not Will Smith, but yeah, like just that's the type of actor and movie star and action star I feel like he would be.
Yeah, he gets along with everybody. Like you say, he gets along with everybody, has good chemistry. He was amazing in Falcon and the Winter Soldier, but the reshoots and everything. That's why I can't really say like, oh, Anthony Mackie is a terrible actor. I'm not gonna say that
I
because
don't think I don't think he's ever been a terrible actor. Like
yeah,
he went to Juilliard.
yeah,
Like he's a talented like act.
yeah. Somebody said that he was the male Gal Gadot, and I was like,
That's
no,
crazy.
man,
Gal Gadot
no.
is Gal Gadot, bro. She peaked with Wonder Woman, and that was
Exactly.
really it.
That
Like
was
she
it.
only had that role. Let's be
Oh,
real.
I can't really think of any significant role that Gal Gadot has had
Yeah,
since Wonder Woman. And
yeah.
even then, and she was like phoning it in for that. Like it was like this is the bar. She was like right there. She was not exceeding it completely. She was just barely making it. But yeah, calling him the male Gal Gadot is crazy though.
That's
That is
wild.
crazy.
It is wild, man. But you know how people are.
Yeah, yeah. But I think that's all I had to say about Avengers Doomsday.
Yeah,
Looking at the list here. Again, I'm gonna wait for more to come out because I just don't want to like completely bash it. As of right now, it seems concise but still a bit unfocused.
yeah.
Do you have any final thoughts?
Um, just give it time. Only time will tell, man. Like we don't know anything about this.
Yeah.
We don't even know if Kevin Feige knows anything about this. Like he's just hoping that, you know, the Russo brothers figure it out. And if they do and they nail it, like, hey, I'm not rooting for anyone's downfall. I'm just willing to
Yeah.
see a good movie. That's what I'm
Yeah,
looking
I
forward
just want a
to.
good movie. That's it.
Yeah. Good movie, good films. And if I have to switch to DC, you know,
James
and just
Gunn.
do that. James Gunn, he has his own plans. Like
Yeah.
I'm down to see anything with any character. I don't really care about like obviously I want to see my favorites. You know, we grew up with Spider-Man, Hulk, like I
Yeah.
said, the X-Men. But at the same time, like a good movie can go a long way.
Definitely,
It
yeah.
can build a
Definitely.
legacy for an entire character. And that's why we
Yep.
got three Captain America films, three Guardians films. I remember in 2015, like when that was announced, people are like, what are they doing? Like that's just a crazy thing to do. But now it's like one of the biggest properties at Disney, which is crazy.
Exactly. It has two rides at Disney World. Like
Yeah,
that's insane.
it
But yeah,
really is.
all it takes is like you said, a good movie with compelling characters. That's it. And that's what I hope Avengers Doomsday is.
For
That's
sure.
at
I
the end of the
hope.
day. That is it.
Shoot, I hope, man. But yeah, that's all I really got. I don't really have much to go with.
Yeah, that was it. That was it for me.
Hey.